Now I'm really happy to introduce to you Will Noble, who is the SGLBA's Business Networking Director, and Will is going to share with you the story behind the development of our Business Hub initiative and also the new and improved Long Table series. So welcome, Will.
Thank you, Mark. Now I understand that I'm towards the end of the evening, so I'm standing between you and more booze and canapes, of course. So I won't prattle on for too long, but I will start by saying that I moved to Australia in late 2008 with my partner Michael, and in early 2009 got involved with the SGLBA, and that was as a result of the fact that I've been involved with the chamber movement globally ever since I've been in business. So for 5 years I was a director of the Southampton Chamber of Commerce in the UK, the second oldest chamber of commerce in the UK, and I saw the profound value in gathering around a common subject. Those of you that came along and attended our event at Google earlier in the year would have heard me talk about the fact that profound in the human condition is wanting to gather into a tribe. And that's what these associations are. My business is a member of the New South Wales Business Chamber. We're a member of the Australia-China Business Council. We're a member of the of AmCham, the American Chamber of Commerce in Australia, as well as being members of the SGLBA. And that's because we get something useful from all of those relationships by hanging out with people like us, regardless of what that like us is. Whether it's how we identify in our personal life, whether it's where we do business, how we do business, or with whom we do business. So I'm very passionate about Mark's initiative to bring the business back into the SGLBA. And first of all, I'll talk about our Long Table events and how those have developed over the last couple of months. For a long time, we had Long Table breakfasts. Many years ago, Jason Snadden, he's definitely not in the room, he's currently partying in Ibiza, I think. But Jason Snadden is a prolific networker, an inspiration to anybody that sees the value in networking, and he really breathed life into the Long Table breakfasts some time ago, expanded their base, took it from being 2 breakfasts to 5 breakfasts, and left a real legacy. And part of that legacy was identifying the people that get their backside out of bed in the morning once a fortnight to go and have breakfast together, to talk about business opportunities and to support one another, might want the opportunity to gather in an evening context with a drink and some canapes to maybe hear some content from a business leader or a business speaker of some description. Jason founded the Long Table Canapes events, and for the first few of those events, Anthony Ben Brown was our venerated speaker who would stand up at each event and deliver to us a lesson. Those of you that know Anthony, you'll understand the humour in that statement.
Yes.
And it was an opportunity for those people that got out of bed and went to a breakfast meeting in 5 different locations across Sydney to come together once a quarter in an evening context, meet people from different groups, talk about their companies and what they're trying to achieve, and just have a slightly different event for those Long Table participants. The Long Table breakfasts over a period of time have become a real service to the people that attend them. It's almost a support network for those people that work from home, sole traders, entrepreneurs, and perhaps suffer from cabin fever from working on their own at home. That opportunity to get out of the house once a fortnight and sit down with other people in a similar situation over breakfast, talk about what's happened in the last fortnight, what's happening in the coming fortnight, to talk about their business challenges, has provided them with a real service. However, the feedback that we were receiving from some of the people in those groups was actually we want something that's a bit more gutsy in terms of the definitive results that we can see from those breakfasts. Some people were perfectly happy to just treat it as the support network that it was. Other people were saying, well, I want to know that if I go to breakfast once a fortnight, that I'm going to get either business leads or new connections, be able to find new suppliers, pick up new business skills, etc. So we created a new concept called the Long Table Business. So the Long Table Business, which is being led by Joanna Ferrari, meets twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of the month. in a corporate boardroom in the CBD. It runs to a strict agenda, and it's focused around people learning new business skills, but also it's focused around making connections and generating referrals for your business. The way that we differ from BNI, for those of you in the room that are thinking, well, how's that different to BNI, is that rather than focusing on a requirement to turn up and hand over a referral, we focus on the requirement to turn up and know what you're asking for. So knowing what it is that your business does, what its unique proposition is, how to sell it to other people, and then asking for the appropriate connection that you want, whether that's a supplier or a new customer or what have you. So that's the Long Table portfolio, if you like. We have business, which is about business results. We have breakfasts, which are about local support and networking, catching up with other people in a similar sole trader or entrepreneur situation as yourself. And then we have the quarterly Canapes events, which are our content-led events. So from there, a number of years ago, when I was first on the board of the SGLBA, I discussed with the then president and also with Mark, whilst he was the head of fruits, the fact that there seemed to be a general requirement for a space for the SGLBA, for people to actually come together and meet, people requiring workspaces, and we put together a little sort of an outline skeleton of an idea, and it just kind of sat there and gathered dust for a few years until Peter Venero joined the board and put his hand up and said, you know what, I think there's a requirement for a space for our people in the city, probably on Oxford Street, because after all that's the spiritual home of the gay community in Australia. So we incubated the idea of a business hub or a business centre for the SGLBA. We went about it in a business-like fashion and started to put together a business case, put out an expression of interest to understand what the demand was, and then approach the City of Sydney to talk about available spaces on Oxford Street, bearing in mind that the City of Sydney owns the north side of Oxford Street and are generally looking for tenants at any given time. So myself, Peter and John Reardon from JR & Co, an urban planning outfit. In particular, John isn't here this evening, is he? No. John isn't here this evening because he's working on the final submission of our application to the City of Sydney to secure a space for the SGLBA to provide spaces and facilities and meeting spaces for our community, and in particular for our members. It's testament actually to the effort that John has put in throughout. He's worked tirelessly to work with the city to have our cause recognised. And it's been noted at committee and at council that this is an excellent idea. It's an initiative that the city is behind. Clover Moore, Christine Forster and Linda Scott, so all sides of politics support this initiative, and we hope to be making the announcement in the next few weeks that we have secured a space from the City of Sydney and that we will be creating a cooperative working space on Oxford Street for SGLBA members. If you're interested, for those of you that haven't already put an expression of interest through the SGLBA website, go to sglba.org.au. There's a big button on the right hand side that says Business Hub Expression of Interest. Just put your details in through the form there, and we'll keep you in touch as we develop the concept. If you have any other questions about Long Table or about the Hub, come and find me afterwards. Thank you.